Hey, Chicago, and welcome back to Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Star, aka Miss Hip Hop. And we have a really dope guest in the house tonight. Well, this evening, I should say. He is a three-time Grammy-nominated hip hop and R&B artist, songwriter, producer, and an actor. Okay. So he's worked with various artists. Some you may have already heard of. Jay Holiday, Fetty Wap, Six Lack, Justin Bieber, and a legendary PM Don. So yeah. Plus he's here to discuss his newly released single, In the Dark. So you guys, without further ado, bringing up next to the mic, all the way from Queens, New York, the legendary James Worthy. What's up?
What up? What up? Well, thank you for that crazy introduction. I appreciate all the love, man.
Oh, you're welcome. Definitely nothing but love, brother. For real.
Salute.
Hell yeah. All right. So James, what we usually do here at Speak Your Mind Radio is a traditional icebreaker question. So let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Let me think. So, how were you inspired to find your true potential at the tender age of 10?
Well, being from New York, from Queens, New York to be exact, I've always been around music. You know, it's just, I always say to people it's the inevitable because me just being around so many genres of music at one time, so from R&B to hip hop to soul to house dance music, just so many different variables in music. It was just kind of like I caught the music bug really, really early. And then, just having music in my house, like my parents used to listen to all types of music. So I was just always around it. So once I got really into like studying music and different artists and even songwriters and musicians, it was just kind of like, that's just what I want to do.
So you talk about your parents listening to different artists and things like that. Who did you most relate to?
It was a couple different artists, big Michael Jackson fan, big Quincy Jones fan, big Houdini fan, A Tribe Called Quest, the Fugees, Chic and Nile Rodgers, just a plethora of different artists.
Yeah, for sure. I read somewhere, I believe it was a magazine interview that you gave. It was just like last year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
You said that you met the king of pop himself.
Yeah.
He told you, hey kid, you should start, entertainment. Singing.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's a fact, man. That was a crazy, crazy moment. I was about 11 years old. And yeah, man, it was at Webster Hall in New York. I was with my dad and, we just had a chance to go backstage. Really didn't know what to expect. I was just happy to be at the place. This was a Michael Jackson event. So, just me being a fan and just kind of seeing them on stage in person was enough for me. But, we got a chance to go backstage and actually meet him. And, it was just like an eye-opening experience, and just to have a short conversation with him that young, that was kind of like, okay, this is like the focal point of, all right, this is what I really, really want to do, to be in the music business or the entertainment business.
Right. That is super lit and everything. Not to change the subject or nothing, but I want to wish you a happy belated birthday because I know your birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So what did you do to celebrate? Were you with friends and family or did you just ride solo?
So crazy story. So in the beginning of the day, it was kind of light. Then I kind of, spent some time with some family, just hang out a little bit. And then my mom and my sister, they wanted to surprise me to go somewhere. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So the surprise ended up being a show that the group Goody Mob was performing at in Atlanta. at a spot called Monticello, and real popular spot in Atlanta. And shout out to Goody Mob, really, really cool dudes. Those are like my big brothers. Shout out to Gip, CeeLo, all of them. And I went over there, and that kind of ended up me coming on stage with them for a second. Whoa. It was kind of dope. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, so I holla at Gip at the end. Gip was a solid dude, man. One of my good friends. And if y'all have not seen the Night Drive video, go check it out. Me and Big Gip, Goody Mob.
Ooh,
yeah,
I missed that one, boy. I gotta go check that one out.
Yeah, check it out. It's called Night Drive. Me and Big Gip. Yep.
I can feel it. I love it. Okay. Let me ask you another question. How did you pioneer your way through the industry so quickly?
Man, and I get that question a lot, and it's really not one answer. It was just like a series of events. Like basically when I came into the industry professionally, I was real young. I was like 19, 20 years old, coming in, and I've always, from a young age, always wanted to have a legacy. And I always wanted to have my own thing just by, studying the greats and being around the greats and being around legendary artists and just soaking up game and learning the do's and the don'ts and all those different types of things. So me coming in and kind of setting my own blueprint, I always wanted to do that early on because I know that's your foundation. That's what follows you for the rest of your career. So that's kind of how I got into different situations. I would, say, hey, I want to work on this style of record with this type of artist and go over here and go over there and go in this genre, that genre. So, that's why my catalog and my discography is so diverse, because I wanted to stick my hand in every pot that I could. You know what I mean? I didn't just want to stay in a hip hop lane or R&B lane. No, I'm gonna go to pop. I'm gonna go to dance. I'm gonna go to house. I'm gonna go to trap. I'm gonna go EDM. I'm gonna do all of that.
That is amazing, and that's just crazy because just listening to a few songs from your previous last two albums, Blue Leisure. I like Glow. I like Coffee. It was another track on there I was really digging. But my point is, I feel like you never said no to trying new things. And this is why I get this international glow from you, or something about you in your music. I feel like you have a lot of, I don't even want to say potential. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're international. Women and men, just everybody messes with you all over the world. That's how I feel about you. And
it's interesting you say that because, my audience is pretty diverse. I have a big fan base in the UK and overseas. So, I have a lot of fans in London, Paris, Australia, Germany, those types of places. And then of course I have a US following too. But I like to cater my music to just different ethnicities and different, people in different places, because you never know where music is going to take you or where it's going to land. So I try to, cater to as many types of people as possible in different demographics. But, and it's even past that, because people, a lot of people knew me as a producer and a songwriter for a long time, right? Oh. So when I transitioned into artistry, it was a smooth transition, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of the best of both worlds. I got my older audience that knows me for what started out doing, and then they're loving what I'm doing now. And then I have new fans who had no idea that I was writing and producing for other artists. All they know is me as the artist. So it's kind of I'm getting both sides of everything, which is kind of cool. And, when I was making those projects like Blue Leisure and Kaleidoscopes, it's those are really special times in my life, because I took my time making those projects, but I was such in different places, creatively and even mentally, to where I was, where I was in my career at those points. And I'm I'm not just gonna put out anything. I'm just not gonna put out a body of work and just throw it out and see whatever happens. I take it very seriously, because I come from that. I come from seeing how artists put albums together. and put out singles and how the label works it and what's the plan, what's the rollout, blah, blah, blah. So I implemented those same techniques into mine.
That is an amazing story. Talk more about that transitional period, because I find that a lot with people in the entertainment world. Like, if you are an artist and you end up being an actor, and we're gonna talk about that too. Or if you're an actor, you end up being an artist. Talk about that, because yours was a smooth transition. But tell me it, like, make me feel it.
So the real interesting part about it is I remember probably 2016. I forgot what project specifically I was working on at that time, but I was just wrapping it up. And a good friend of mine, his name is International Nova. He's an artist
cool.
as well. He's from New York too. And he had moved to Atlanta, and me and him been friends for a while. And he moved to Atlanta. I was probably one of the first people he met in Atlanta, with the exception of a couple other people. And we just started working together. And one day I just came to his studio, and he was working on his album at the time. And I wasn't doing artistry yet. I was still strictly production and writing. So I was more so producing some stuff for him and just trying to figure out, what sound we would go with for him. So while in his studio, he was asking me to demo a hook for him for a song that he was working on. It wasn't going to stay there. It was just for me to demo it just so we can get the feel. So we did the demo, and it came out really dope. He told me, yo, man, this is fire, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't really think nothing about it. So it turned into us doing more stuff as a demo. So at some point he hit me. He was like, man, like, some of these is fire, man. Like, we need to use it for something. So I'm like, all right, well, use it, whatever we need to do. So that turned into us like recording full songs together, me and him. So one day at the studio again, he was like, man, why don't we just make it into a group? Like, we put out a single or something. I'm like, that's interesting. Now, mind you, in the meantime, people were already kind of requesting music from me as an artist, like, because I would sing backgrounds for other people and demo different things here and there, like when I'm shopping songs. Yeah. So people automatically love my voice. So it was kind of a short, small demand going on. So I'm like, that might be kind of cool. But mind you, artistry was always in my plan. Nobody really knew that. It was just timing. So when we started doing the demos and we started doing the full songs, I'm like, okay, yeah, we got some stuff. We got it. So I think the last song we did was called Wine for Me, which ended up being the first single. So the group was called King's X2. So it was myself and him. Our first single was called Wine for Me, and it debuted at number 10 on Billboard. So that was my first song ever as an artist, or being on the song as an artist, charting on Billboard.
Crazy.
So that was the introduction to the world as me as an artist. So the single did really, really good. And then, eventually we kind of broke the group up because we were doing solo projects and things like that. And that's when I went solo, and, it just kind of skyrocketed from there.
That is an excellent story. Like, just the cadence in your voice, just speaking about it, gives hope and inspiration to others out there that wish to do what you're doing,
Yeah. That's what it's about, like, I try to inspire people and give information as much as I can, because, it's a snaky game, and it's a crazy game, so you gotta know what's going on, and you gotta be knowledgeable, because it's a lot.
It is a lot. It is. Okay, so speaking of your first single, Wine with Me, let's talk about this newly released single, In the Dark. Kind of tell me, and I ask every artist this, but like, what kind of mindset were you in when you wanted to develop this track? Because it's really sensual and sexual, so to speak,
So basically, In the Dark is talking about basically spicing up the sexual aspect of your relationship. So like, for example, you can probably, be a couple to where y'all do the same thing over and over, or, you know, you do it with some candles on or the lights on or whatever. So in this song, it's more so like, okay, we gonna do this all the way in the dark. Like we ain't gonna see nothing. All we gonna do is feel the energy, feel the vibe, and feel each other.
That's pretty. That's cool.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, that's really the premise of it, but it's also just kind of like a metaphor to where like we're dancing around, we're pretty much, the energies are dancing around each other. You know what I mean? So like you feel your vibe, I feel mine, and we collided together to make one.
Yeah, that is extra steamy. Yeah. So, which project is this from, In the Dark?
So this is the first single off my debut album that I'm releasing this year, this summer. So the name of the album is called Once a Fairy Tale, and it'll probably drop end of June or going into July.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Once a Fairy Tale.
Once a Fairy Tale?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, Once a Fairy Tale, how would that differ from Blue Leisure or Kaleidoscopes?
So it's really like a continuation of those projects. So, you know, really all my projects are theme projects. So with Once a Fairy Tale is pretty much an eclectic album. It's very, very musical. Like it's probably the most musical project I've ever made. It's speaking in terms of the tempo, the production, the writing, the melody structure, just everything is very eclectic. But even the meaning of the project is, you know, I'm kind of like I'm taking people into my world a little bit more than I've ever done on my other projects before. So within the storytelling and within the premise of each song, because each song has a story in itself. So I'm kind of like taking you in a movie, so to speak, from top to bottom. But some of it, you could probably take it as fictional or non-fictional. So that's why I call it Once a Fairy Tale, because it's to what your interpretation is.
Wow. Hey, that's beautiful. That's the way you make music, define music as art, like just like that. It's abstract, like whatever I think, it may not be it, but that's what I got from it, you know?
Right.
So that is definitely key. Speaking of keys, name 3 keys to your success.
Ooh, 3 keys to my success. I would say consistency. I would say confidence. And knowledge.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just being knowledgeable on everything that I possibly can.
Man.
And sometimes we can't know everything, you know, everything is in like trial and error and experiences, but you know, without those experiences, you wouldn't know anything to begin with. So, you know, all the things that I've been through and all the things that I've endured has made me the musician and the artist that I am now. You know what I mean? Because I mean, nobody can be successful without failures.
You darn right. Michael Jordan failed like umpteen times before he became the greatest NBA basketball player of all time.
Exactly.
Dang, your light just went out.
I know. This computer light.
Right. I feel you. Okay, so James, like, let me get my questions together because I didn't forget a little bit. But how was it like working with Jay Holiday on Gold Mine and with PM Dawn? Because I know he produced that track, right?
So funny enough, shout out to PM Dawn, man. That's my guys. So PM Dawn, they actually executive produced Kaleidoscopes. They executive produced that project with me. So that was really, really amazing. Shout out to K-Rock and PM Dawn as well. Super dope producer. So when it came to Gold Mine, I produced Gold Mine.
Cool.
So it was, and that song is interesting how that song came about, because I had that song for like 4 years, just like kind of sitting in the tub. So it was in my catalog for a while, and I demoed the song like some years ago, and I didn't really know what to do with it at that time. It was just, something that I did, and it was an idea. And I'm like, I'll see what I want to do, if I want to shop it to somebody or whatever. So, when COVID-19 hit last year, things just kind of got pushed, back to the burner a little bit. And, we had to reset and rethink some things. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't go on the road, or I can't tour this year, can't really move how I want to move. So I need to put out some music, just to, give the fans. So that's when I went into the catalog and seeing what I had, before I created something new. And Goldmine was in there, and I came across, I'm like, oh man, I forgot about this record. And I loved it so much. So I'm like, I definitely want to use it, but I felt like I wanted somebody else on there with me just to give it a different flavor than the original. So I pretty much just kind of touched it up. Goldmine was a little bit different in the beginning than what y'all hear now.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely spiced it up a little bit. But Jay Holiday was one of the people I had in mind. A couple other people too, but we've known each other for a little while. We run in the same circles, know the same people. So we had just never worked together before.
Wow.
So I just reached out to him, and he definitely wanted to be a part of it, and we made it happen.
That is so freaking cool, I promise you. So dang. Okay, so like, who do you see yourself working with in the future, like collaborating with?
Man, I'm such a fan of so many different artists, but I would love to work with Miguel. Ooh, I would love to work with The Weeknd, Frank Ocean, Sia, Erykah Badu, Q-Tip, let me see, Chris Brown, Kanye West, artists like that.
Yes. Okay. One person that I was going to say some of those names too. What about Lizzo?
I like Lizzo. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not too well versed in her catalog. I know a handful of her songs, which she's definitely a dope artist. Mm-hmm. But I would love to listen to more of her. So being that you brought her up, I'm definitely listen to more of her music. But shout out to Lizzo. I like Lizzo.
Yes, true first. Go Lizzo.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I don't know. Oh yeah. Talk about some of the artists that you have written for.
Man, I've worked with so many artists. Let me see. You named a couple earlier.
I know.
I'm trying to think. Besides that, man, I've worked with Truth Hurts. I've worked with Bobby Brown. I've worked with Whitney Houston. I've worked with Drag On the Swiss Beats. I've worked with Ruffins. I've worked with Silk. Let me see. Robin S., CeCe Peniston, Arrested Development, Future, Yo Gotti, Mike Jones.
Damn.
I mean, the list goes on. Sammy, Young Berg.
What?
Word? Yeah.
Okay, I definitely hear you. This is a beautiful interview because you have it going on, period. Okay, so can you tell us like any projects that you have coming up as far as television is concerned? Like,
Let me see. So I know right now I'm in production for my own documentary that I'm filming this year. So it's going to be the James Worthy documentary. Just kind of like, showing the early story of my life and my career to where it's at now. Just the different intricate parts and the ups and downs and the whole story, so people can understand where I came from and how I got to where I'm at now. And, the story is still being written. So it'll probably be like the part one, and then, as stuff continues to go on, we'll do a part two. But I'm definitely working on that. Working on some film projects for some movies that I'm working on. So I'm really excited about that, for some heavyweight production companies. So, shout out to Lionsgate and Paramount. So yeah.
That is beautiful. If you're able to give out that information, who is the director over the movies that you're working on?
Good question. We're in the early stages, so it's kind of like we're putting the story and the storyline together, so to speak. So once that's kind of like fully set in stone, then that's when I'll start appointing, who's going to be doing what and who's featured in here and blah, 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 So I know everybody wants to know that. So I'll be probably making an announcement once it's official soon. So, I'm just super excited to have a chance to do it. You know what I mean? Because, I just want people to understand, the story and, because I know a lot of people feel like they'll see things from me and they act like it was just like, boom, here it is. Like, but it took a lot of time and a lot of work to, get those things and do those things, so I want people to understand the story.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, which you pretty much answered, but where would you say you are within your story? And I know it's transitioning on to a different story.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just answer the damn question myself. You know what I mean? Like, because I guess you're in the introductory part of the new season, so to speak.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, where I'm at right now is I'm kind of like, I guess I'm in the middle, so to speak, like in the sense of, I've accomplished so much on the other spectrum. And what I mean by that is, production and writing and other things. But now going into artistry, I think, there's so many new people catching on to that wave. They don't know the backstory, right? So people are just seeing me do so much as such a short amount of time in the artistry realm that it's just an interesting story to tell. Because it's even like I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day to the point of like everything is coming full circle now, or back full circle, because now I'm actually collaborating artist to artist with artists that I used to produce and write for.
Stop it. Stop it. Wow.
So it's just so funny to me.
Incredible. You just said a mouthful. You said the universe basically brings things back full circle.
Yeah.
I'm much older than you and I'm just realizing these things myself. So congratulations.
Thank you.
God bless you on your journey, God in your hustle period. I
appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Okay, so I wish I had, let's see, another question. Okay, let's see. Are you going to have a visual for In the Dark? Like,
yes. Actually, I'll be shooting the video next week.
For real?
So, probably be on the lookout for the video to drop probably end of April or go on top of May.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be out before Cinco de Mayo?
Hopefully. I believe so, but we'll definitely see for sure. We'll confirm that way before it comes out. But it's coming real soon. Real sexy, real, elegant vibe.
Yeah.
We might put a little twist in there, just to get y'all minds going.
Yep.
But it's gonna be hot.
That's so freaking dope. I guess you ain't gonna tell me what the theme is. You just said you're gonna spice it up, so maybe we just leave it at that.
Yeah, y'all gotta wait for that one. I can't let it out yet.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely watch it, man. Anyway, thank you so much.
Did you see the Gold Mine video, by the way?
No, I just heard the song.
Man, you gotta watch that. See, that video was setting the tone for this video.
Oh, well then I'm definitely watching it then, for sure.
Oh yeah. You gonna like it.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, King James. I keep calling you King freaking James because it's the IP.
People so used to calling me that. It's cool. And you know why? Because that's my nickname. Like the fans have gave me that nickname for such a long time, so it just stuck with people.
That's dope. That is so dope. one more thing. Talk about the importance of moving in silence. I think you're the prime example of that.
Moving in silence. I think it's important because, to me, in my opinion, it shows your humility, number one. And number two, sometimes things ain't always meant to be said. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those people to where, like, I'm big on actions. Like, I show you better than I can tell you. You know, so that's kind of how I move. Like, you know, I don't really do a lot of talking all the time as far as, you know, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, when it happens, it happens. And, you know, when it's announced, you'll know.
Yeah. And we're going to end it off on that note because that was some strong, powerful jewels right there. So I hope you all got that because that's dope. Okay, so thank you again, King James, for coming on the show today. Yup.
No problem. I appreciate you, Queen.
For sure. And I will definitely keep in touch with you for the new events coming up.
Absolutely. And I will keep you posted on when the video drops, when the new stuff is dropping. I got some new collabs getting ready to drop soon. You know, a lot of stuff.
All right, I'm there. I'm down.
And make sure you check out Night Drive too, me and Gip.
Yes, Night Drive and the Gold Mine video.
Yeah, so Gold Mine music video is on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel. So just search James Worthy Music. It's on my Vivo channel as well. So it's on YouTube. And Night Drive, the music video for Night Drive is on there as well.
Ooh, I gotta go see that one right now. I swear, I'll have like a nighttime vibe so bad.
Oh, you gonna like them videos.
I know, I can't wait. Period. All right, I'll see you later, King James.
All right, be easy.
Bye.